Welcome to Live with Suzi. I'm your host and producer of the show. So happy to be coming to talk to you guys with our friend, our guest, Mr. Shane Malek, a financial consultant, a president of FMIS Inc. And Shane has been very generous with us, the world of knowledge he has in his field, finance, and also talking about the retirement plans, different plans, whatever that he knows. And he tells us bi-weekly, we've started these series that I'm so happy to say that it's becoming quite popular, if I may say so. And you guys like it. Sometimes you send me questions and I'll ask the next session we sit and talk. So continue doing so whenever you feel like it. You have questions regarding retirement plans, etc. We will discuss it in our shows. The website, in order to check out our other parts that we've done so far, you can go to www.fmisinc.com, and or if you want to call Shane and his office and make an appointment, whatever, you can call the toll-free number 1-800-477-1556. And of course, you can check out our social media sites, Live with Suzi, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, also YouTube and podcasts at all times, and check out all the interviews, all the discussions we have regarding these important topics, mainly the topic of retirements, that we're all coming to that age and we need to know more about it and realize how can we actually take a proper planning to sustain and maintain the lifestyle we so deserve. On that note, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Shane Malek to Live with Suzi, once again doing our part number 11.
Oh, hello, Suzi. Thank you again. My God, it doesn't seem like 11 of these we've done, but I'm truly enjoying it. Thank you for that.
Thank you. We really appreciate and we are honored to have you every other week taking time and from your busy schedule and talking to us and sharing the knowledge you have and your expertise and helping us out. Of course, the age of retirement can be a bit frightening, to say the least. But with proper planning, hopefully we will manage to sustain and maintain the lifestyle we're so used to, accustomed to, and we deserve to have it. So, if I may say so, and I ask my questions as always I do, we'll start today by, curious George, I have a question asking you,
Sure.
which is a very, maybe it's easy for you to answer, I'm sure it is, but for me, I sometimes wonder, how do you actually determine how to choose a certain plan for different individuals who come to you? And, you know, everyone is different. We're all unique in our own individualities, different lifestyle, whatever. So must be difficult to, you know, tell us what to do and offer us a different plan that suits us all well. How do you do it? You're an expert.
Thank you for that. Actually, you know, that's a very good question because, you know, we take it for, normally what happens when clients meet people like us, we'll have to understand what their needs are, obviously, and there's a long interview, or at least I do have a long interview with them, and I want to know where they are financially and what they're doing, where they're heading, what they have, what they can do, all of that stuff. And then ultimately you decide something to be able, like you said earlier, to be able to sustain that lifestyle for them even during their retirement days. And it's never too late, whether you're 50, 55, 60, 65. At some point, you need to understand what you've done, what you need to do, and all that. But it's very important because what you just asked, it gets diluted when it comes to professionals talking to clients, because most people somehow talk about the things of the day or the time at that time. In other words, what's the hardest things for someone to be involved in terms of investments or whatever it may be. So, but it's so you get lost in that situation. But you need to understand what and like I've always said, every individual's got a different situations, and you need to really truly understand where they are and what they need to do in order to sort of reach their goals. Mm-hmm. Some people are looking for growth. Some people are looking for income. Some people are looking for things for, say, the next generations. And so you need to understand what they have, where they're going, and what they've done so far, and all of that stuff. So once you know all of that, then you can start designing something for them. Because after all, you need to make sure that whatever you do, it has to work for your clients, for that person that you're sitting in front of. So that is the most important thing. So to me, it really is very different, because I really do need to know a lot about every individual when I meet with them. That's one of the reasons that I've got many clients that I actually have for a long time, I should say. Hard to say, but I've got people they've been with me for over 30-some years now. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of have, you take baby walks, and then you've done what we've done already. And then you realize that, throughout the years, all these people that even have been with you, the needs and likes and their goals are so different from one another. So you just, change direction now and then, and to meet that. So it's very important to understand that. It's not because what your neighbor has done. You need to understand what is good for you and what you need to do. So mm-hmm. Those are the most important things to me, because after all, you need to direct people as to where they want to go with that. And unfortunately, sometimes that gets lost along the way, and you go with what's really happening at that time in the market, and you get involved with that with clients, and that normally doesn't work most times anyways. I hope I come across that way. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. I do have some other questions coming to mind, but I didn't mm-hmm. want to interrupt you. So please let me know. Yes, what I was actually thinking when you were explaining so kindly to us is that who would be more inclined to come see you? Either people who have their own businesses, like private owned business people are more inclined to come see someone like yourself in order to plan their retirement, or people who actually work for offices that do offer them retirement plans also need to do their own individual planning and not just rely on what their company so-called may have something to offer them. Who would benefit most?
Well,
and what age should they really be doing this? Should we wait till we're very close to our retirement age in order to plan it? Or we're better off doing it in advance? And if so, how long in advance?
One of the things that very good question again. One of the things that are very good to know for everyone who would hear this is that regardless of what age you're at, what mm-hmm. you do, what kind of work, whether you're self-employed or working for someone, whether you're contributing to some sort of a 401k or not, if you don't have, what are the options you have to understand a tax-deferred savings, and I say this as many times as you want, a tax-deferred savings is mm-hmm. about 4 times better than putting money in a regular saving account. I mean, with hands down, no doubt about it. So having said that, so if you put some money in the bank versus some tax-deferred savings, you have 4 times as much more because of the taxations that are involved in that. So 1. 2, normally, don't forget, in this country, if you don't have a pension plan, all you have is your Social Security. That's all you have. I mean, you have to understand, regardless of what kind of money you make, whether you're employed or, again, self-employed, you're going to look at about, at best, if you've contributed all these so-called 40 quarters that takes at least 10 years at whatever income level you're talking about, of course, there's a max there too, you can not make them more than $2,700, $800, $900 a month at best if you've contributed to all of your Social Security benefit. I mean, to contribute it fully in order to do that. And most people don't do it, number one. Number two is, even if you do, then it comes the lifestyle, where you want to go and all that stuff. So you have to understand, if you yourself don't take certain steps in order to guarantee that you have a lot more than that, or better yet, to sustain the income that you have while working, you're not going to get there. So it's very important. You need to use all the tools that you have to do a tax-deferred savings. I don't care whether it's a 401k, it's a SEP IRA, any kind of kill funds you may have, depending on what you do. Number two, I would love to see people generally at any age, but what we're talking about really, and I'd like to see people in their 50s, 50, 55, generally by seeing people at that age, it still gives us ample time to be able to maximize what you can do. So when you reach the age of retirement, you have enough to be able to, I keep repeating myself, sustaining that lifestyle that you have. It's not that easy. Okay. I mean, you're not going to live on your Social Security. You're not going to be able to do that. I mean, the lifestyles of people, whatever it is that they have, in order to sustain that, you need to do a little bit more of your own. So I'd love to see people in their 50s, so be able to tell them what exactly it is they need to do in order to sort of maximize earnings, minimize taxations, and be able to sort of accumulate as much between the ages of 50s to maybe mid and late 60s, so that they can have enough money put away to be able to do that. Now, there are different vehicles of investments for different people, obviously. There's a lot of factors that comes into the picture, like I said earlier, including how conservative or aggressive they can be by doing so. But nevertheless, you need to do something yourself. Without your own help, you're not going to be able to keep things as they are, as the status quo. They're not going to be the same as your income while you're working when you become retired.
Absolutely.
So that understood, you need to see a financial consultant at some point in your life to understand where you are and where you're heading, so you can get some help that way.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad we discussed this and the importance of it, and the fact that obviously the Social Security and what some of us have paid towards it is not going to make it for us. It will break it, but it won't make it. So
absolutely, even if that's going to be around. Even if
that's so true. So we do need to see a financial consultant and discuss it, and the sooner the better. So with better planning, we hopefully manage to sustain our lifestyle that we're accustomed to. On that note, I do appreciate your time as always, Mr. Malek. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
And also, I'd like to really wish all the moms, all the mothers, a very, very happy Mother's Day for this coming Sunday. Without them, we're nothing. And so all the moms, please have the best day on this coming Sunday. And thank you, Suzi Jo.
Thank you, Shahed John, for remembering such beautiful day. I also wish all the moms a great day. Enjoy it. And I'm certainly going to enjoy it with my son. Happy Mother's Day, everyone.
دست نوازش بر سر